The U.S. and Panama have signed an immigration deal that aims to close the Darien Gap. The treacherous jungle passage connects Colombia and Panama and is a key route for migrants hoping to reach the U.S.
Panama's new president, Jose Raul Mulino, took office on Monday promising to curb illegal immigration.
I won't allow Panama to be an open path for thousands of people who enter our country illegally, supported by an international organization related to drug trafficking and human trafficking.
Molino's new foreign minister signed a memorandum of understanding with the U.S. after the address. The U.S. agreed to cover the cost of repatriating migrants who enter Panama illegally in the deal. The mountainous rainforest region connects South and Central America and is a dangerous route for migrants hoping to reach the U.S. Panama's National Migration Service says more than 500,000 people crossed the corridor last year, most from Venezuela, Ecuador, Colombia, and China.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Jordan Report. I am your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right, everybody, I know there's a lot going on in the world, and it takes a lot of time to keep up with this stuff. But we have to keep track of what's going on our southern border. I live here in Texas, and believe me, it's very important down here. We may have caught a break, though, people. We got a new president of Panama, as you just saw in that introduction, and he plans to stop this stuff. Our officials either didn't have the courage or the conviction to stand up and stop this massive crime wave. But we got a friend down there now. Hopefully the new president, Trump, will help him with this, which I doubt, though, people. You have to know where the money is and where all this stuff is coming from. But anyway, we're going to move on with the story. And we owe the president of Panama a round of applause.
Panama is taking decisive action to address migration challenges in the Americas. Newly inaugurated President Jose Raul Mulino has committed to curbing the flow of migrants through the Darien Gap, a perilous jungle corridor linking South and Central America. It's become a key route for hundreds of thousands of migrants heading to the U.S. In a landmark move, Molino's administration signed a bilateral agreement with the United States. Panama will increase its border security and shut down the route. In exchange, the U.S. will finance the repatriation of migrants entering Panama illegally. At his inauguration, Mulino said, "I won't allow Panama to be an open path for thousands of people who enter our country illegally," supported by an international organization related to drug trafficking and human trafficking. The Darien Gap is notorious for its
talks about drug trafficking, human trafficking, and large criminal cartels. He is underestimating what is actually happening. It's far worse than what the Americans think and believe. People, we are in a lot of danger. Our officials have exposed us to a lot of danger. We're going to be paying for this for some years to come. This is from Mexico. This is Chiapas, right on the border with Guatemala. Armed conflict in Chiapas spills over the Guatemala border, damages Mexico's tourism industry. Travel companies in France, England, and Belgium are suspending trips to the Locanda jungle in response to increased cartel violence. While in Guatemala, authorities have arrested 2 members of a Mexican cartel following a shootout with the military. People, this is what your border's wide open to. Again, from Mexico, this is the Sinaloa cartel claims responsibility for a new massacre of 19 people in Chiapas. I don't know how many of these articles I have put up on my channel, but there's massacre after massacre down there. They actually fighting over the human trafficking corridors. So if somebody doesn't pay, they kill the cargo, which is the people. And this is just what happened down there very recently. The Sinaloa cartel claims responsibility for a new massacre of 19 people. Authorities confirmed the discovery of bodies in the area hit by criminal groups seeking control of immigration, drug, and weapons routes, people. And those routes are coming here.
Authorities in southern Mexico discovered 19 bodies in and around a dump truck in an area controlled by cartels near the Guatemala border. The bodies, found near La Concordia in Chiapas State, included 14 in the truck bed, 2 in the cab, and 3 nearby, all shot to death. Several victims had Guatemalan ID, suggesting ties to migrant and drug smuggling disputes between the Sinaloa cartel and rivals, possibly linked to the Jalisco cartel. This violence has driven many locals to flee, following recent attacks including the killing of a mayoral candidate and 5 others at a campaign rally, and a separate shooting that claimed 11 lives.
History won't be so kind to the American people. In fact, our children and grandchildren will spit on our graves for the level of cowardice that we've shown over these period of time here. It'll be they that have to deal with these people in the streets when the time comes. But people, it's not just the Mexican cartels, it's Venezuela also. Venezuela's murder rate falls to a 22-year low after Biden imports criminals to the U.S., according to this report. Socialist Venezuela, known for its rampant violent crime, has seen its murder rate fall to a historic 22-year low after most criminals moved to the U.S. under Joe Biden. Since Biden took office, more than 10 million illegal aliens have entered the U.S. Now many of those unvetted criminals are roaming free in the United States. We can see the effect in real time amid reports of illegals raping, stealing, and murdering innocent Americans. Meanwhile, there's also evidence that the Venezuela criminal gang Tren de Aragua has now expanded its operation across the country. You see, people, we're in a lot of trouble. We allowed our officials to do this to us, and now we're going to pay in blood.
The family of Jocelyn Nungary confirmed to Fox 26 today forensic tests done on her body came back positive for sexual assault. Fox 26's Jonathan Mejia is live in North Houston. And Jonathan, this one-on-one conversation you had here with the family, how are they reacting to all of this?
It's bittersweet for the family. They tell me on one hand, it brings them closer to getting justice, but on the other, it just confirms the horrific detail that the 12-year-old Jocelyn went through. She was lured to this bridge right here. She was tied up, sexually assaulted, then strangled.
It's going to be almost impossible to get rid of this feeling of loss.
Jocelyn Nungary, the name that has swept the nation. It's been a little over 2 weeks since she died, and while many questions linger, one big question was answered.
As of now, we just know that the tests are positive. Positive for sexual assault.
The family tells me while the death penalty is now on the table, they don't want that for the alleged killers.
I want they remember Josie the rest of their life. I want they, every time they go to sleep, they remember what they did. And show to the others, mess with our child. Mess with United States. Mess with Texas.
I'd rather for them to remember this in general population, life without parole. That way they can remember every night when they go to bed the horrific deal that they did to our family.
And while Jocelyn's name has fueled the immigration debate across the country, the family says they don't want her to be used as a pawn.
I want them not just to use my granddaughter as a political base, but to know her name. It's Jocelyn Nungaray. We just want to make a difference for Josie. We don't want Josie's memory or name to be easily forgotten.
The family tells me they're looking to have this new evidence expedited in court so that the judge can rescind the bond placed on the 2 suspected killers. As for those 2 suspects, they are due in court again in September. I'm reporting live in North Houston, Jonathan Mejia, Fox 26 News.
All right, at some point, the American people are going to have to take responsibility for everything that's happening here, people. Because if you got a government that is exposing you to this level of danger, then that government, by its own definition, is an illegitimate government. And it's up to the people to get rid of that government that is abusing them. Other than that, then you're participating in your own demise, and you deserve what's coming your way. Okay? If you can't see what is happening to you, and you don't believe that you should be able to defend yourself, then you deserve what's coming your way. But how many of us remember this dude here, okay? I just want to show you the level of danger and the level of treason that is involved here. Here's this guy here. There's that illegal alien TikToker who urged migrants to invade U.S. homes, reportedly worked for the Venezuelan military intel. Okay, this guy went viral some months ago. I don't know exactly how long, but he went viral some months ago. We didn't know who this guy was. Millions of Americans were disgusted when they learned earlier this year that an illegal alien used TikTok to inform other migrants how to invade unoccupied homes across America and take advantage of progressive squatter laws. The good news that in March, Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers arrested the illegal alien who goes by the name Lionel Marino. And now, time for the bad news. Since Marino's arrest, U.S. intel officers have found the illegal alien was a sergeant in Venezuela's military intelligence unit before he invaded the southern border. It's believed Marino illegally entered through the U.S. Eagle Pass, Texas, I live down here in Texas, and was released into the country with no proper vetting. He intentionally skipped check-ins with ICE. Okay? The issue with Marino is that many others like him are still running amok across this nation, unvetted and lost by the incompetent federal government overseen by the Biden administration. People, it's not incompetence. All this is by design. This is an assault and an attack on the country. And they're just using these people to do it. Okay? So it's up to the people to stop it. If it doesn't, it's only going to get worse.
Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas, ya que me he buscado unos códigos con mis amigos africanos. Y me dijeron que ya llevan como 7 casas expropiadas. Y como dice el dicho, papi, hay que buscar la vuelta. Y la vuelta ahorita mismo es invadir casas, ya que nos encontramos en situación de calle. Y es la única manera que tenemos para no vivir en la calle y no ser una carga pública. Capichi, la ley dice que las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que esté en mal estado, podemos llegar y repararlas, vivir en ellas y si podemos venderlas, hasta pedir créditos con ellas.